Next up, from California, some noise for the number 17. Fans, it's time to get loud for your final senior from Middle Washington. He is wearing the captain C. Make some noise for our team. Go! Fans, please rise and remove your hat. The playing of tonight's national anthem.
Welcome, hockey fans, to a Friday night matchup at the URC here on Eastern Washington University campus here in Cheney, Washington. My name's Gary Allen. I'll be joined shortly by the play-by-play man, Tyler Pisani. Tonight is senior night for the Eagles. They got three that are seniors. Joel Less, the captain, Matt Tierney, and Jaden Holfacker. They'll be starting tonight out there along with Walker White and Jared Jelinek. For Gonzaga, the Bulldogs are going to open up with, okay, I got to get an updated roster because the numbers, the one I have right now, are not matching. So I'll get those as soon as I can to you. But it should be an exciting game. This is the last home game of the 2025-26 season. Tomorrow night, the Eastern will be playing Gonzaga U up at the Eagles Ice Arena in Spokane, Washington. But this is the last home game of league and general games for the Eagles. Pac-8 tournament starts next week, next Thursday. The All-Star game starts at 5 o'clock on Thursday, and then the games will progress after that. Tentatively scheduled right now, depends on how a league game turns out tonight, but right now the way it looks like on Friday, UW will take on UCSD. At 1 o'clock, Western Washington University will play San Jose State. 4 o'clock, USC Trojans will be taking on the WSU Cougars. And at 7 o'clock that night, Friday, a week from tonight, your Eagles will be taking on California. That should be an interesting game. So as it is right now, again, barring any change, and it's only going to be the opening round. It depends on who wins tonight. But University of Washington will be playing University of California, San Diego at 10. 1 o'clock will be Western Washington University against San Jose State. 4 o'clock, USC at WSU. 7 o'clock, your Eagles against California Bears. If you haven't been to the Pac-8 tournament, you got to come out next week. It's great hockey. It's extremely reasonably priced. And there's some outstanding talent, especially on the top three teams' seedings on that. And that's what tonight's game is going to be all about, is seeding. So we'll get back to this game here against the Zags and the Eagles. Quick shot by Robbie Arbor. It looks like he got a pass out from Eli Nickish.
Maybe I shouldn't put this thing on, Gary.
I'm joined by Tyler Pisano right now, who's complaining about his suit, which he looks sharp, but he's complaining about it right now. But it looks like Arbor got it from Eli Nickish on the assist. That's my guess right now. I was running down, Tyler, about the Pac-8 tournament next week, how it all goes. Only one game tonight is really going to have a bearing on the seeding. So I think it's pretty safe to say what I read was accurate.
Well, that's a heck of a way for Eastern to start, heading into their final game of the season.
And then tomorrow night they play up the Eagles Ice Arena in Spokane at 8:15. So if you missed tonight and you live in Spokane, definitely go up there. Quick shot, Shibiala makes a quick save. And we're, like I told Tyler, what everybody, the rosters, we're waiting for the updated one because there's some numbers that aren't matching. So we will get that to them as soon as we get the official roster sent up to us.
I mean, we just make up numbers. That's fine.
It's not the numbers, it's names that are not lining up right now off my sheet. Nice save by, I think that's Loveland in net. Jack. But again, I'm cautious. Nice little job on the announcing on the senior night. Very nice touch out there, Tyler. I know you're a big fan of the senior nights.
I am. It's always good to see the kids, the guys that make it all the way through here and make it to the senior night, a chance to honor them in front of everybody.
Well, it is special. You got Mac Turney, who's played for 3 years. Joe Lusk, if I'm not mistaken, he's played at least 3 to 4 years for
yeah.
the
Joe
Eagles,
Lusk joined us coming out of Tacoma. I believe it was a season after COVID.
And I stand corrected on that goal. They're calling it Arbor got the goal, but they're saying the assists were from Caleb Knopp and Adam Pellerin. So I saw Jelinek down in the corner and the puck came out, but that's who.
That is who they credited it with. So just like that, Robbie Arbor opens up the scoring, at least on the score sheet, thanks to Knopp and Pellerin.
Well, I tell you, the kid that's played extremely well has been Knopp since he joined the Eagles at the break. That kid is outstanding. Well, it'll be interesting to see how Gonzaga will respond. Like, I've seen them twice this year, and they're actually a pretty solid hockey team. They gave Utah Valley a lot of problems.
Well, and they are kind of on the upswing here in terms of regional ACHA teams. You know, they had a couple of down seasons where they were having some trouble fielding a team, weren't sure if they were actually going to have a team for a couple of years. And it's good to see not only do they have a team out here, but they've actually got a decent-sized bench out there. And as you mentioned, playing again tomorrow night at Eagles Ice Arena up on the north side of Spokane. I did hear that they're going to have the beer garden open up there. So even if you don't like either one of these teams, if you like hockey and beer, no reason not to come out there.
Yeah, excellent point. That was pretty solid, Tyler. That was good.
White with it, puts it towards the goal mouth, and it's smothered by the Gonzaga netminder. Some sharp-looking uniforms out there.
They are. They're very impressed.
Blue with the white and red striping.
But before we get any further, we've got to give a shout-out to our camera person, Addie Neiswanger. It's her birthday today. I'm not going to say how old she is, but it's her birthday. She's going to be mad at me because she doesn't like knowing that. But
yeah, that was a very happy face.
At least she's not throwing anything at me right now. So we
appreciate her being out here all season and helping out with this broadcast, making it look
great. Good. She makes you and I look really good, and that's a tall task for me at least.
I mean, really, people care about what she's doing a lot more than they care about what we're doing. And up along the far side is Lusk, captain of the team, senior tonight. He has it taken away, back out into neutral ice. Sun overskates it.
No, he's a solid hockey player for GU. He stood out last time I watched him.
And here he is with the puck again. Sun trying to bring it up, crosses the center stripe, dumps it in as he gets to the blue line. He's going to put Clark into the wall, plays that puck, sends it back up top. Shot taken not well as here comes Arver the other way. He's got Dezerkis crashing the near post. And that's where he goes. Arver, Dom, back of the net. And just like that, 5 minutes, 54 seconds into this one, Arver with an assist to Dom Dezerkis, and Eastern Washington up by 2. These were the vibes you want here on senior night.
Well, you got to give it to Arver. He just kept going as hard as he could. Sooner or later, the GU player was going to have to make a commitment. He did. He started to go for Arver. Beautiful pass by Robbie and right on the stick of Dezerkis. So,
and if you're the Gonzaga netminder, there's not a whole lot you can do on those situations. You just got to be in the right spot and hope that it hits you in some way.
Yeah, there was absolutely nothing he could do because he's going to have to make finally a commitment, and he decided that he was going to go with the shooter, and it didn't pay off for him. But great start for Eastern. This is what they needed. They got to get themselves ready for that Pac-8 tournament because the word is they got Cal the first game.
I think that is a true statement, Gary. The number 1 team in the pack last year went undefeated. And another goal by Eastern Washington, a turnaround shot from the high slot. And just like that, Dezerkis with another one, I believe.
Yeah, it was him. I don't know.
The last goal, officially 5:54 of the first period, Dezerkis from Arver and Zetterquist. This goal, 6:31. And we'll see who they give the assist to on that one, or if it was all Dom.
It'll be interesting because I was trying to figure out who was that second player down there. There was an Eag, but I'm not sure if they're going to give an assist or not.
Puck back behind the net now.
Keegan Clark picked up the assist.
So they're going to give that to Zetterquist, and then Clark with the assist on that. So Cam having himself a night here back in the lineup for Eastern Washington.
Well, good for Cam. He hustles, man, and that's one thing that kid does. He just is constant when he's on the ice. He just gives it all he has. It's impressive.
And that is Cam's first goal as an Eastern Washington Eagle, his 4th point of the season. That one into the leg pads of the Gonzaga netminder.
But like what we're talking about in that, who Eastern opens up with, they got to get some momentum. So when they face Cal's an awfully good hockey club. And if Eastern can play like they can, they're going to give them a battle. It's just that's the question.
Well, we've seen flashes of brilliance from Eastern Washington this year, being able to keep up with just about everybody that they've played for about a period and a half. If they can string together all 3 periods,
well,
then,
that's my point.
Yeah, then I think they are a formidable team.
I've seen them play outstanding hockey, and there's been games this year they've dominated for 2.5 periods, and they have a little let up, and that's usually came back to bite them. They got the talent. But, they're going to have to be prepared for Cal. But, yeah, hopefully Eastern plays like they can, play that anticipatory style, and just give it all they have. They have nothing to lose. It's a one-and-done tournament, so they got to lay it all out. But they have the talent. Hopefully they can put it together.
And we're going to go back to center ice here as Jacob Nickish touched that up at the near blue line, and they still blew it dead for icing. So resetting at center ice, face-off won by the Eagles. It's pushed up ahead into the skates. And now across the blue line, bodies banging all over each other on the far side of the ice, and it's the Zags that come away with it, dumped down into the corner. Now White picks it up. He's going to send it up the wall to Russell. Russell ahead to Hofacker. Hofacker, a senior 3 times tonight. One of the rare players to get a triple senior night here for Eastern Washington. Good to see him come back in the second half of the year, use the rest of his eligibility.
Well, no question, especially when they were shorthanded at one point, and they pulled him out of retirement, actually. So it was good to see that he decided, yeah, I can do that.
Now here comes Deneen on the Eastern Washington end of the ice. Had one more player to beat, and good defense there by Knopp. Young backhands that in, now sent over to the far side. First player there is Waite. Parker trying to get it up and out. Can't, but it's going to come to Knopp. Carries it across the center stripe. He's got 2 blue uniforms in front of him. Puts it goalward, but off of the mark. Now has it taken away. Up the near side. McGowan able to keep it for just a moment, and then he's knocked off of the puck. And now here comes a chance for Deneen. Eastern Washington with a change, and Deneen politely leaves that off for Keegan Clark, who's going to take it and turn it the other way. Players battling along the near wall. McGowan sends that in. White has to overskate it, get back onside, giving the Zags a chance to reset. Here we go up the near side. Across the blue line. Over to the far side now for Gonzaga. Touched across the blue paint of Luke Shachubiala. Now with some speed on the far side is White. He's got Lusk near side. Lusk looking for that senior night goal. We've seen some magic in this building from the Eagles on their senior night. Memorably, Todd Membry, his first home goal in his entire Eastern Washington career coming
That was a nice
on senior night.
That was a nice play by White. He cut over left to right on it, and he almost got it where he needed it to be. A good hustle play by him.
So Zags setting up behind their own net. Peltona at the top of the zone. Finally gets it up to him. A swing and a miss in front of the Zags bench. Is now Eastern Washington on the attack. Shot taken high and off of the glass behind the cage. McGowan with it. Sun giving pressure. Touched up by Lusk. Now it's going to get pushed up ahead. Eastern unable to hold on to it as Jelinek. And it's going to be sent all the way back down the ice. First player there is going to be Lusk. He's got 2 white uniforms behind him. He's going to hold on to it. Carries it up the far side in front of his bench. Backhands it ahead to Zerkis. He's going to beat out that icing call. Dom with it, looking for somewhere to go. Still has the puck. Looks like he's going to take that shot, and he does. Turns the corner, puts it off of the leg pads, loses an edge as he tries to round the corner, and they're going to call that a tripping. Thought maybe Dom did that by himself, but Eastern Washington going to get a break here. 10 minutes and 49 seconds of this first period. It'll be Gonzaga heading to the box for a trip.
Well, it's definitely been Eastern's game tonight. They got 14-2 shot advantage on Gonzaga. They came out shooting pretty well. They're putting a lot of pressure on Gonzaga, and the Zags just can't figure out exactly how to slow them down. And if you look at what's happening, it's all starting in the neutral zone. Eastern's just dominating that neutral zone area.
Pellerin with it over to White. White through the legs. Backhand shot by Eli Nickish. And a quick power play turnaround as this goal comes 10:58, just 9 seconds on the power play. Courtesy of Eli Nickish, and the fans getting their money's worth of the goal song tonight. See who they give the assist to on that one. It looked like it bounced around a little bit.
It did. It'll be real interesting. I know the goalie made the initial save and he lost the rebound off, but I'm not sure if they're going to credit anyone else.
Have yourself a night, Mr. Robbie Arver. That goal officially a power play goal at 10:58 of this first period. Eli Nickish from Robbie Arver and the senior Joel Lusk, as Joel gets his first point of the night here on senior night in Cheney.
Well, Arver's offensive game has definitely picked up this year, and so it's not real surprising to see him getting on the board this many times and whatnot, because he has been really working on his offensive end of the game. So it's good to see us paying off for him.
Yeah, he's got 30 points on the season, 3 more tonight. So 33 points in the regular season so far for Robbie Arver. Still 5 periods of action left.
And Chuchubiala is having a solid game for Eastern too, and then they're going to have to rely on their netminders, especially in that Pac 8 tournament. With being a one and done tournament, they most teams really rely on their netminders, and I've seen Chuchubiala and Riley's done a nice job this year. So I'm looking forward to that tournament next week.
And Logan Clothier is the netminder for Gonzaga. We've gotten at least that far on the roster so far. We apologize to the Gonzaga fans out there for not having that set up prior to the game. Bouncing puck out front, and just like that, Clothier dives on it. And he's going to smother that with 7:41 left in this opening period. 17 shots already for the Eagles.
He has been under siege tonight from the drop of the puck. Eastern's just put a lot of pressure on him.
And here they are again, cycling the puck around the zone. With it is Leonov. Jeff using his body to shield that puck, able to hold on to it. Leonov with it still. He's going to go goalward, backhands it just wide of the mark. And now Smith with it. Smith looking to get fancy with it, goes Smiley. So now Knopp, he's going to put it goalward. First player there's Jake Nickish. As it bounced off of Clothier. Battle for the puck along the near wall. Using his body a bit as Hofacker out there. Now back up top. Clark thinks about it. Can't get a handle on it. Now breakout looking for the Zags. And a one-handed slap onto the bench from Caleb Knopp.
One thing I've noticed tonight with Eastern, what they're doing, and they haven't done the last couple, 2-3 games, their shots are all on net. They're not going wide. They're not whiffing on them. And I think that's the big difference right now. What we're seeing is when they were playing 2 weeks ago against West, they couldn't buy a goal off of it. And then against UW, they had some good spurts. But tonight, it seems like there hasn't been a wide shot for them, and that's going to bode well for them also.
That makes for a tough night for Clothier in the Gonzaga net. And now a foot race to the puck. Wait, looking to use his body. Got there in time, but couldn't find the puck at his feet. Still battling with Powers behind the net. As Logan Powers able to come away with that. Puck to the top of the zone. And then into the glove of Clothier. For the 19th shot 15th save of the night for Clothier. We've still got 6 minutes left in this first period. Face-off won by the Eagles. Lusk pushes that one out front. Big save by Clothier. Lusk now backside. It's going to go near side to Clark. Now back up top. Zetterquist, he's already got one tonight. Up top again to Clark. Heavy pass along the low wall. And here come the Zags with the puck. His son, he gets behind the defense, but kicks it just a bit too deep. Backhanded out front. Shot taken from the far side by Deneen. And now here comes Jelinek along the right side. He feeds it out to the center to Lusk. Back to Jelinek. And what a save by Clothier.
But beautiful play by Jelinek and Lusk on that one. It was a tape-to-tape feather pass. A nice job by Clothier, like you said, because he had to be on top of that, because that was a real quick play by the Eats.
Now coming down the far side is White. Able to dodge the hit, but the puck gets caught up in the skates of the two Zags there. And now here come the Bulldogs. Out front is Sun. Top shelf, back of the net. Chang Yu Sun finds the back of the net for the Bulldogs. 15-14 into this opening period.
I'm telling you, Sun and Deneen are a great tandem for GU. They stood out last time I watched them play, and Eastern's going to have to keep an eye on them because a lot of their offense is going to go through those two. And they're just outstanding hockey players.
So 4-1, 15-14. You wonder if that'll give life to the Bulldogs. Like I said, that one unassisted.
But you saw Deneen. He was right there off that. I think he was trailing him to see if he can get a rebound.
Now here comes Arver using those silky mitts and puts it right into the glove of Clothier. And you could see the frustration on Robbie's face or in his body language. He knew where he wanted to put that puck, and it was not in the glove of Clothier.
But at least it was on net. And I'm really keeping a close eye on that tonight. Are they finally getting their shots on net and how their passing lanes are opening up for them? And right now they're doing an outstanding job.
Arver pushes it out front. Dangerous puck at the top of the crease. It's going to get kicked over to the corner to Dzurkis. He's going to play it down the wall to Nickish. Giving chase is Eli. Near side to Knopp now. Knopp's going to overskate Dzurkis. Put that one on net. Kicked away by the Gonzaga netminder. And here come the Zags the other direction. Bulldogs gain the blue line as Bowers has it. He's knocked off of the puck by Pellerin. Chopped over to the far side. Now back to near side. Chance out front. Good defense there by Knopp as Bowers had a clean shot right out front and just handled it one too many times.
But Bowers did a nice toe drag right there to even get that shot off.
Pellerin through the legs of Bog and into the glove of Clothier. Looks like Logan settled down a little bit in net, able to read some of these shots a bit more. Had a couple of questionable ones early on in this period, but he's been stout for the last 8 or 10 shots for Eastern Washington.
But you figure he's been under attack this whole game, so it's kind of like the way Easterns came out of the chute on this one. He didn't have any time to really get into his game.
McGowan's going to send that one in, back behind the net. Canterbury pinned up against the wall by Leonov. Leonov trying to find the puck in his skates, and he can't. Here comes Gonzaga the other direction on the stick of Gillick. Sun holds on to it. Eastern able to keep it in just barely as Leonov finds Jake Nickish out front. Now back to McGowan. It gets by him as Deneen has it on the left side. He's going to go across the ice now to Gillick. Big stop there by the Eagles. Smith backhanded to Nickish off of his stick out front. as Smith just can't find it, and he's stumbling, bumbling through the slot. Backside, he finds it, but can't put it on the net. Had a wide open angle there. That one, Eastern Washington almost getting an assist from the referee. The Bulldogs not able to find the puck here. Just keeps bouncing to Eastern Washington Twigs. Now it's going to go all the way back down. Senior Mac Tierney going to pick it up. Transfer from Grand Canyon University up here.
But that's what Eastern's done an outstanding job tonight of. They just clogged up any kind of passing lane, and that's why Gonzaga can't get out of their zone.
Now here comes Bowers. He loses it as he crosses the blue line. Tierney thinks about it. He's going to hold on to it and then flips it up ahead, tries to get it to Waite. Finally does. Waite now looking to turn the corner. He's going to try and backhand it near side. Slapping it in as Hofacker. That's going to be a trip for Eastern Washington as Jordan Russell just couldn't get a stick out of there in time. And Eastern going to touch it up, and that'll be their first penalty of the game, 18:32 of this first period. And Russell knew it as soon as he pulled his stick back. That was going to be a trip.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to poke check it out, and he just got it tangled up into the legs of the GU player. But you got to tip your cap to the Eagles. This is their first penalty of the game. And that's the other thing they needed to really cut down on if they're going to be able to compete against Cal. They can't get in the penalty box. So nice job by them.
Well, and that's really been kind of the killer for them this season is their penalties. So being able to control those heading into the Pac-8 championship tournament is going to be a game changer for them if they can continue that.
Oh, it's going to be huge. And you're right. It's been an Achilles heel for them for the last, I don't know, a few years, but this year it's really bit them. And so if they can stay out of the box, they'll be okay.
High deflection into the netting on the far side. The Zags know what they're doing here. They put that puck down low below the goal line, set up in front of the crease, and just feed that puck into traffic looking for an odd bounce, a stick to find it, something.
Well, they're doing a nice job of cycling low to high, and they're trying to get Eastern to chase them. All Eastern has to do is stay in their position, but Gonzaga's doing a nice job of that low-high game.
Under a minute left in this opening period. Lots of action between these two crosstown rivals. Looking for that near post was Sun. He missed it just by a couple of inches. Knopf on the far side battling, but back to the stick of Powers. Powers back to Sun. Sun looking for somebody out front. Instead, he's going to go near side to Canterbury. This one out front, deflected away. Over to the far side now to Nickish. 2 seconds left in the period. That'll do it. A very intense first period in Eastern Washington, almost having one more opportunity there from Walker White at the end of the period, but it'll stand with the Eastern Washington Eagles taking a 4-1 lead into the break, out shooting the Bulldogs 22-6. The Eagles on track for 66 shots in this one. They'll start the second period down a man as there's still 32 seconds left on the Jordan Russell tripping minor. But we're going to step away for 15 minutes. Be back with the second period of action on senior night here in Cheney. Friends and family, welcome back to the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center for the second period of action on senior night here in Cheney. The Eagles leading the Bulldogs after 4-1, out shooting them 22-6. But the Eagles will start a man down in this treacherous second period as Jordan Russell going to spend the next 32 seconds in the box. My name's Tyler Pisani, joined as always by the one and only Gary Allen. And Gary, that first period was quite a bit different than what we've seen from these Eagles all season long.
Well, totally. What Eastern's doing is they're playing like they can. We've seen throughout the whole year when they play the style of hockey, they give teams fits, and they're playing anticipatory. They're doing a great job of blocking up passing lanes and shooting lanes that the Zags are having trouble figuring out how to break that. Eastern's playing a complete game right now, and so hopefully they will continue this for the rest of this game and tomorrow night when they play the Zags again in Spokane, and then next week when they open up the Pac-8 tournament against California Berkeley on Friday at 7. But no, the Eastern's played a real solid hockey game. They haven't chased anyone. They're moving the puck extremely well. They're doing it with purpose, and that's sometimes they'll lack that. Tonight they're not. They're doing a really nice job.
Well, and you talk about, them being almost an own goal there from Gonzaga, shooting that towards his netminder was Powers. But we talk about the Pac-8 tournament next week. Eastern's going to enter as the number 8 seed, not the season they wanted in the Pac this year. They're going up against one of the toughest teams in the West in general in Cal Berkeley. But just a couple of years ago, a big hip check by Boot. Just a couple of years ago, it was USC that came in as the number 8 seed, played the noon game against the University of Washington, and made it to Saturday. I know UW, that is still
it is
stuck in their craw.
That was 2 years ago. And I remembered everyone because everybody was talking about UW, and USC came in with an I don't care attitude. And they almost won that second game that they played. They just ran out of steam,
and they had a short bench that year.
They did.
And you're right. They just ran out of steam. It's tough to play high-level hockey against these teams when you've only got a bench of 6 or 8 guys.
Yeah, and that's what they did. They brought up 8, and they just got worn down. But see, and that's why with a one-and-done tournament, if Eastern can play like this, or how they've played in the past when they've had some real solid periods where they dominated for 2.5 periods, they can give Cal a run for it, without a doubt, because I've seen Cal about 4 times this year. But Eastern's going to have to play sharp. But it can be done.
Well, and it starts with this second period. They've got to be able to put together 3 complete periods, and that's something they haven't done a whole lot this year. For some reason, the second period, not just this year, last year and the year before, there's something about this middle frame that just gives them fits. And if they can hold off Gonzaga here, maybe even add a couple in this period, it'll make a big difference in their confidence moving forward.
Well, I think with Eastern, what they have to do, and you've hit that on the head right there, the second period has been an Achilles for them. But they got to stay out of the penalty box. They got to play this free flow, cycle, anticipatory hockey, clog up that neutral zone, which they've done so far in this game really well, knock off the passing lanes, and Cal could be in for a long night. And so hopefully Eastern can carry this on into that tournament because, like you said, one-and-done tournament like USC did to UW, you never know.
Shot taken that time by Batman.
But that's why I like that tournament so much because there's so much pressure on teams knowing that they got to win that game or they're going home.
Hard hit into the post by White. And we talk about this all the time, that in the ACHA, the regular season, I don't want to say it doesn't matter because there are nationals bids on the line. There's direct-to-regional bids that are on the line. But when it comes to 90% of the teams in the ACHA, the regular season is just a warm-up for the postseason. You just have to win those 3 games here next weekend, and you're on your way to regionals. Win 2 games there, you're on your way to nationals.
Well,
and just like that, Eastern Washington able to find the back of the net 4 minutes and 3 seconds into this second period. I believe that was Jake Nickish.
It was or Smith. I thought Smith might have got it.
We'll see who they give it to.
But we'll find
here.
out. Just the way Smith reacted, I thought he pulled it. But Nickish was right around there too, so.
Here comes Smith with it across the blue line. Back to Nickish again. Over to Leonov. Jeff Leonov sends it down the wall over to Jake Nickish. It's going to go to the far side. We're picking it up as Gerford. Back to Nickish, down low, looking for Leonov, crashing the post. Trying to find Smith out front, and now numbers for the Zags if they want to skate. Heavy shot into the leg pads. And back up to the top, spin around shot. Well handled by Clark. Deflects it down into the corner.
Clark did a nice job of knocking that shot down. You know it's going to sting when you see that long wind up, but a good job by him.
Puck over to the far side. Jake Nickish, he chops it ahead. Here comes Smith. Deneen gets there first. So that goal officially 4:03 of this second period. Smith from Lusk and Jake Nickish. That is Lusk's second point tonight on senior night. The senior captain doing his best to celebrate. I know he'd like to get one in the goal column, but a couple of assists, not a bad way to look here just 25 minutes into senior night.
Well, there's nothing wrong with assists. I mean, he's still getting the points. So, I mean, you know, it bodes well for somebody who wants to be a playmaker.
This one out into neutral ice. Waite has it, chops it down forward. Now coming across the line is Nelson. He gets it across the blue line, but the Zags turn it over almost immediately. Good bounce off of the wall. Kicked away by Luke in net. Now up the near side is Tierney, another senior here for Eastern Washington. He lays it off for Waite. Waite tried to find a man on the back door. That was Hofacker. All two of the three seniors out there on the same line. Back behind the net. Boot picks it up for the Eagles. Has to make one man miss. Now pushes it ahead through the skates of Hofacker. Parker Waite chases that one. Now heading the other way is Powers. Powers lines up, fires a shot off of the legs of Tierney. And now Russell back out there. He's put into the wall. Eagles can't get it out of the zone. Russell still battling for it, even though he's down on one knee. One flipped up and ahead. Now out into neutral ice. Waite across the blue line. He's going to leave it off for Nickish. Winds up, fires a shot, kicked away by Clothier. Tierney in and around. Nickish on the far side. Nickish back around to Arver. Arver trying to feed it out front. Dezerkis just a bit too deep, and that's going to go all the way back to the Eastern Washington zone as Tierney going to have to give chase.
Dude, that's another kid that's really improved this year as the years progress is Russell. He's each game is getting better and better, more comfortable with the speed of this game.
Across the center stripe, gaining the blue line is Nickish. It's pushed back just to Arver. Arver stretched out using that extra long stick. Finds just enough power to get it up and over Logan Clothier. And the second goal of the period for the Eagles comes 7 minutes and 15 seconds into this period.
I think Nickish is going to get that. I think he tipped it at the end. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm leaning on about 95 because that puck took a different direction on Collier after Arver shot that. But we'll see officially. But I think it's going to be Eli Nickish's goal.
The Eastern spreading the love around.
Eastern goal scored by maybe Eli Nick.
Just the way Clothier went. There's another quick score, and that's by Pellerin, who deserves that kid's constantly working. I'm not sure who's going to get that assist, but Pellerin did a nice job of just camping right there. He pinched in really well, and there was nothing the netminder could have done on that one.
So that goal, the last goal, officially 7:15 of the second period, Eli Nickish from Arver and Dezerkis. That's Arver's fifth point tonight.
He's acting like it's his senior night tonight. He is.
And Lusk getting the assist on that one. Well, that's Lusk's third point of the evening. Shot taken from in front of the Eastern Washington bench. And this is exactly what Eastern Washington needed to do. Can't take their foot off the gas pedal, have to keep it going, especially this late in the season.
Well, one thing I'm definitely seeing Eastern doing an outstanding job, that sometimes they've tended to go into a selfish mode, not a team mode. Tonight they're playing a team mode, and that's why you're seeing a lot of people getting these 2, 3, 4 assists a game, because they're looking for their line mates. And if you do that, you're real hard to beat. And so hopefully Eastern continues this, because this is all part of that, what I was talking about, anticipatory hockey. The players are skating around knowing that, okay, I'm going to get the pass to me, so I got to make sure I'm alert. And Eastern's done a superb job of that tonight.
And as you say, that 13 assists on 7 goals. I mean, they're getting almost 2 assists on every goal.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's team play right there. And that's how you're going to win a lot of these games. And again, we keep making reference to the Pac-A tournament, but if you play as a team, you're really hard to beat, because no one can really zero in on you if they have any scouting on you. Say, this player, he doesn't pass the puck, or this player doesn't either. If you come out and you start passing that puck around, then they can't zero in on you. And so this is going to bode well for Eastern.
and again, there's that neutral zone play by the Eagles, just not allowing the Zags to get any momentum coming through the open ice.
No, they've clogged that up, and what they've done a nice job too. Once they get that clogged up, the puck rolls up, and then the D-man comes up. He pinches in on that blue line, and they can't get the puck by him. Nice job by Eastern tonight.
There it is again, another giveaway in the neutral zone. Although neither team really able to maintain possession here for the last minute or so. This one will go up ahead to Nickish. Bad bounce off of the wall. Keeping it in the zone was Powers, and here comes Smith. One too many touches, but there to clean it up is Leonov. He can't find it in traffic. It's going to roll back behind the net, as Clothier thought he had it under his glove. And that'll be cleared the length of the ice and just past the goal mouth for an icing with 10:36 left in this middle frame on senior night here in Cheney.
One thing I want to pick up on, you touched on in that, for that, how the ACHA sometimes is okay not to worry about if you win your league. And a great example of that, you haven't really heard much about USC. All of a sudden now, in the last 4 games, they're getting some W's. And you got to wonder that sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with it, if you can win your division, great. If you can't, set everything up for that tournament, because that's where it's at.
Well, USC, as we mentioned, they are no stranger to late season heroics. And it's kind of become their bread and butter. They build up through the season, and by the time they get to the end of the season, they're playing their best hockey.
Well, if you know your seeding, if you don't have a shot at winning your division, then yeah, okay. So what are we going to do to get ourselves set? Nice save by Stubiala. But how are we going to get so we can start attacking this tournament? And so you kind of shift your mind a little bit and start developing things. We're going to have a penalty up here. This is going to go GU.
As Hofacker runs into the netminder, you can see him immediately put his hands up. No harm intended, my friend. And looking back, checking on him as well. But there's going to be we'll see what this is. I would assume that it's a hook based on the action through the center of the ice.
But it is a strange mindset that a coaching staff has to do. Is like, okay, this is where we're pretty much going to fall this way. So how do we get ourselves ready for that tournament? And you start gearing everything for that. And then you see the play how Eastern's doing tonight. They're playing like a team that, okay, we got to get ourselves ready for next week. Doing a great job of it.
So that'll actually be a slash 10-13 of this second period. So Eastern Washington back on the power play.
There's another great example of playmaking. Lusk is back here on D right now. He waited for Nickish to cut in the top of the slot, and he just did a nice little feather pass to him, and he got a one-timer.
Russell has it, feeds it out front. Now Lusk chasing it down into the corner. And smart play that time by Demaria as he sends that out into the center of the neutral zone. No Eastern players there, so it floats all the way back to their own end. Now here come the Eagles with numbers. Lusk looking for Arver. Couldn't find it, and that's going to go all the way back to Luke Chachubiala. Lusk going to pick it up. Joel, the senior captain, in his final Eastern Washington regular season home game. Loses the puck as he turns to face the center of the ice. He's put up against the wall.
And I'll tell you, I give a lot of credit to Chachubiala. It's because there's been lulls on actions on him, and then all of a sudden Gonzaga will spurt on him, and he stood tall so far. He's done a real nice job in net for Eastern.
And that's the toughest for a netminder. You know, you get all warmed up before the game. Even at the intermission, you're in the hallway warming yourself back up. Eastern Washington, is that Joel Lusk?
He got a
on senior night.
He got an assist.
Another assist. Yeah,
Smitty. He passed again. Lusk is playing as a playmaker tonight. He saw Smith breaking into his right. Smith did a nice job of cutting right at the time of the crease. Lusk got the pass to him, a quick tip in. That's team play, folks, right there.
A power play goal for the Eagles. Their second of the night. They're 2 for 2.
How many assists
on the power play
does Lusk have tonight?
That is his 4th.
It's incredible how Eastern can play if they play as a team.
I mean, that puts Joel is 1 assist away from 40 assists on the season through just 28 games. Well, look at that. 9 from 19 and 29, 11:55 of the second period.
And isn't most of Eastern's goals tonight, they've had at least 2 people assist on those?
Yeah.
Or at least 50%?
So they've got 14 assists on 8 goals.
Again, it's all about, people don't understand, hockey's a team game. And if you play as a team unit, you can't zero in on 1 or 2 people and that poses problems for the other team. It's a lot easier if you can zero in on 1 guy or 2 guys, say, okay, we shut them down and we got it. You play as a team, you don't know who to shut down.
That one knocked straight down. As Arver was waiting for it out front, but well covered by Clothier.
Well, nice job by Arver to get himself right in that crease. When Boot took the shot, he did a nice job. He actually tipped the puck, and excellent job by Arver tonight. But again, Eastern's moving around, and Gonzaga is having trouble figuring out, okay, how are they going to attack us right now? They're just coming at us in waves, and everybody's involved.
Arver across the ice to DeZerkis. He looks to turn the corner from a top to Pack 8 logo. Fires that just off the mark. DeZerkis with it again. Tries to make one-man miss, gives it away, and here comes Deneen. DeZerkis and Deneen fall down. DeZerkis right back up, as there to pick up the puck was Demaria. DeZerkis, easy pass off to Nickish. Eli Nickish looking to turn the corner, tries to put it on goal mouth, has it stuffed into the corner. Arver trying to juggle that puck around. Uses that big frame, looking for somebody out front. Arver, the left-handed forward, trying to find somebody there, turns his hips. Has to use the backhand there, as now it's sent the length of the ice. That'll be an icing, as nobody's in the box. 6:18 left to play in this second period. Eastern Washington fully in the driver's seat through just almost 34 minutes of this game. A good crowd here, Gary. Good to see some familiar faces here on senior night. I've seen several former players. Ran into former head coach Brad Baker here as well.
Well, you said it way back at the start of this year, the culture of hockey is really growing here, and you're seeing a lot of returning players come. They really want to stay involved with the hockey program, and that's why you see so many ex-players here.
Here comes Lusk with some speed, feeds it out back, and there was White. Pellerin thinks about it, withstands the check, but it's sent back down the ice to Bowers. Bowers right across the blue line. Came in just a bit too early was Deneen. Now Knopp looking for that pass out front. White had it, but it was taken right off of the stick. And you talk about Lusk being a team player out here tonight. And that whole way coming down the ice, he could have turned the corner, taken it goalward, but he was looking for a pass. Now here comes Jelinek. Jelly stops, surveys the ice, pushes it ahead to White, just out of his reach. Now back up to Pellerin. Through traffic. Good save by Clothier. Sticked over to the far side. Eaton there with Jelinek. Now back to the near side. DeMaria. Back out front again. Now Jelinek. Looking for Boot up top. That's where he goes. Josh able to hold it in, but just for a moment. Back to Jelinek. Top to Pack 8 logo. Over to the far side. Easily handled by Clothier. His 31st shot of the game. Jelinek on the net. The Zags are able to pick it up, but just can't hold on to it. Lusk now looking for that pass in the corner, looking to distribute it. He's still got it. He's going to go over to the far side. No, he's going to have it taken off of his stick at the last moment. Heading back the other way is Batman. Chopped into the neutral zone. Nickish with it. Jake across the blue line. He's got Leonov near side. On his heels, makes one man miss, gets it out front, still loose in the crease, and finally gloved up by Clothier. But what a move coming into the zone there. On his heels, makes one man miss, still gets that shot off and at an odd enough angle that Clothier wasn't able to hold on to it. So 3:51 left in the second.
Been very impressed with Eastern, how they're playing as one unit tonight. And it'd be interesting if they would have taken this approach for some of the other games, because they look stout right now. They just have Gonzaga chasing them all over the place, and that's part of it. And as long as they get Gonzaga to chase them, that opens up some of the passing lanes.
And another dive and cover by Clothier. Well, I don't have any wood around me to knock on, but Gary, the biggest difference to me tonight, Eastern Washington has only had one penalty.
It's huge.
And that's, you can see how much of a difference it makes when you're playing a hockey game with 5 skaters on the ice.
Well, because what people don't understand, when you're always on the penalty kill, it takes a lot of energy, and it's going to take about a good minute and a half to get everything back into alignment. And if you keep going after back-to-back penalties, one after another, it really takes a toll on you after a while.
That one squirts out into the neutral zone. Stick lift by Leonov. Now he's going to use his jets. Down the left side. Looks to go near post. It's going to go midsection of Logan Clothier.
I'm going to hold you to that at the 3:10 mark when you made that statement. We'll see. But no, Eastern, when they can play full strength, the only time that they played really well a man down was 2 years ago, because they took so many penalties. That's the only time they got used to playing with each other. But if they stay out of the penalty box, that really helps the squad out tremendously.
Well, and it's tough at this level because you really do start getting those power play and penalty kill lines really dialed in. And if you've got the same 4 guys on the ice for 20 minutes a game, that's a long time.
And it doesn't matter if you add another player or two on the 4-person lineup, it wears on you quite a bit. And then by the time the third period comes, you're just gassed. And that's been what's really hampered Eastern this year.
And it makes it tough for the netminders as well. I mean, you could see Gonzaga only 10 shots on net today. And just like that, Luke Chubiala with great glove save there. He's feeling himself. You mentioned it. It's hard when you only get 11 shots through 18 minutes.
Well, what Luke did a nice job of it, he slid right to left on that just to get a little bit better view of it, because there was some traffic a little bit out in front of him. Nice job by him to recognize that so he could get his glove on it.
This one up ahead to Dzirkis. He's got the blue line behind the defense. Backhand across the top of the blue paint. Forehand across the goal line.
But again, if you look, that was Robbie Arbor that got his head up, and he saw the Dzirkis cutting down the middle of it, so he took it on the near boards as far as he could, so he knew that Dom had a break on him. Did a nice little feather pass to him right on his stick, and the puck goes in. But if Arbor wasn't playing heads up on that, looking for an outlet pass, that doesn't happen. Nice job by Dom to get it in the net, but excellent job by Robert to look for it. There it is, another goal, and they got 2 people on it.
And is that Robbie Arbor on that one, or that's another assist by Robbie Arbor? And he's looking for that goal puck. I can't tell who it is that scored there. Is that
Jelinek?
That is
no, that's Nickish. Eli
Nickish.
But Arbor's going to definitely get another assist on that one.
Well, and that is the hat trick goal for Eli Nickish tonight. I believe that's his first hat trick in an Eastern Washington uniform.
But
we'll have to add up these points here at the intermission.
But both of the Nickishes have made leaps and bounds this year as far as their play. Outstanding by both of them.
Now here comes Gonzaga the other way. They're not done yet. As Bowers able to find the backside of the net all alone with Luke Shachubiala. And we talked about it. 12 shots. It's tough to be ready to be able to track the puck when you're only seeing it so little. And it's not even so much that he's only seen 12 shots. He's only seen the puck within 50 feet of him for probably 15 minutes of this game, if that.
And Bowers did an outstanding job. You got to give him credit on that one. He did a couple of dekes on that. He was hoping that Luke would make a move on it, and he did. He guessed wrong. So give credit to Bowers, but you're right. I mean, Luke really had to make a call on that, and shots are so far and in between, you start getting a little rusty out there, and you start second-guessing how you want to move. But nice job by Bowers.
Well, and as a netminder, those are the ones that, I mean, there's a reason that it's a one-on-one in the shootout. It's a very even play there. There's not a whole lot you can do as the netminder. You just have to, like you said, pick what you think is going to happen and commit to it. And he did great. Just one more move by Bowers.
And Bowers, if you looked at it, he made 3 dekes on that one when he finally got into it, decided to shoot. Well, that's pretty solid by him.
Jelinek back up to Zetterquist. He had his first goal in an Eastern Washington uniform earlier tonight. Now Zetterquist down low, kicked ahead by, I think that was Lusk. Now Lusk is going to pick it up again. He's going to look goalward. Here he is all alone. Forehand back of the net. Joel Lusk on senior night.
Well, it was only a matter of time before Joel was finally going to get the puck in the net. He's done such an outstanding job of setting up the plays that I don't know if he's really looked at any opportunities. This time it came across, and he made no mistake about it.
We'll add up these points here at the intermission, but Eastern having a points night here against Gonzaga. And to Gonzaga's credit, they've cut Eastern Washington's shots by 30% and just can't make it happen the other direction. White looking for one more right at the buzzer, but Eastern Washington.
It's going to be interesting once we add that up. Yeah, I think you're going to see 70% of their goals. They've got at least 1 assist. Most of them have been 2 assists by that. That's just outstanding team hockey right there. Can't say enough good about that play.
So the Eagles will take an 11-2 lead into the locker room for the second time tonight. They lead in the shot category 36-12, tripling up the shots of the Gonzaga Bulldogs. You know Gonzaga is going to come out in the third period and try to put as many pucks on the net as they can. We'll step away and be back with the final period of regular season home hockey for the Eagles. You're watching Eastern Washington University men's hockey. Friends and family, welcome back to the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center for the final period of the regular season of the 2025-2026 season. Next time the Eagles are on this ice will be the Pac-8 Championship Tournament next Friday night at 7 o'clock. Eastern Washington handily controlling this game, 11-2 after 2 periods. They're actually going run clock in this third period before these two teams play tomorrow. Looks like Gonzaga has swapped out their goalie. In net now is Charlie Hinchy for the Zags for the final 20 minutes of this period.
Well, that's a good opportunity for Gonzaga to, try to get themselves reset for tomorrow night's game up there at the Eagles Ice Arena in Spokane. They have nothing to lose by that. They're not going to get 9 goals. We got to call it like it is, even though it's still a whole third period left. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with trying to change up a little bit. Get ready for tomorrow.
Shot taken from the top of the blue line by Canterbury.
This got to be tough on Gonzaga to see the score like it is right now. So their mindset, okay, let's just shift over till tomorrow. This one's chuck it. Let's try some things new. See some adjustments coming on here. See if they can slow down the Eagles tonight. Eagles have played an outstanding game.
So we were talking about points before the intermission there. Robbie Arver, 1 goal, 5 points. Eli Nickish, 1 goal, 5 assists. Eli Nickish, 3 goals, 1 assist. DeZerkis, credited for 3 goals, 1 assist. Smith, credited for 2 goals. Clark has an assist. Zetterquist has an assist. I think they actually gave Zetterquist goal to DeZerkis. I think he's only got 2. But currently credited with 3. And Zetterquist not credited with a goal just yet. Joel Lusk, 1 goal, 4 assists. Pellerin, 1 goal, 1 assist. Jacob Nickish, 1 assist. And Caleb Knopp, 2 assists. So Eastern Washington spreading those points around tonight. And only 2 penalty minutes. Eastern Washington, 28 total points tonight. 11 goals. And we said it, they're getting credit for almost 2 full assists on each goal. It's that team play, and that's the only way that they're going to be competitive next weekend. And this is a great setup for them. Granted, at the expense of Gonzaga, but giving them a chance to kind of pass around, set up some plays, and really test out a few things before they play one of the best teams on the West Coast.
Well, they're going to have to play this style of hockey. They've got to be not worrying about so much of the physicality. They're going to have to keep it spread open. They're going to have to play as a unit.
And 3 saves by Luke Shachubiawa. And finally, the 4th one finds the back of the net. Not a whole lot you could do there if you are the netminder. You make the 3 saves. Eventually, you need help from somebody else with a skinny stick, and it just doesn't work.
Well, it's tough on him on that one right there because he had to come and get his leg pad kicked out. He got the initial one, but it's really hard to control the rebound, and that's what happened. They hit the pad 3 times, and then they finally got it on the 4th try. So good job of Luke staying in there, but, yeah, it was just a tough angle for him to control that rebound.
And just like that, the Bulldogs up to 3 here on senior night for Eastern Washington and Cheney. Seniors, as a reminder, number 4, Jaden Hofacker, number 17, Mac Tierney, and number 19, Joel Lusk. Joel having a fantastic night for himself. 5 points, 1 goal, 4 assists. And you know that he's not done yet. He's going to keep on pushing. Tierney and Hofacker, Tank, both out there looking to get one more, get a point here tonight as well.
And I'd be remiss, besides Eddie, our camera person's birthday, is Dom DeDurkis' birthday also.
It's Dom's birthday as well, credited with a hat trick on his birthday.
And I got a shout out to his mom for reminding us that. But when we were coming out, we were trying to write it down like, okay, let's make sure we don't forget. But then I can't find my notes. So thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. We appreciate it. We couldn't do what we do without the parents of these players. Big shout out to them for raising some quality young men out there and for helping us not look like complete idiots.
Yeah, I'm not sure Dom's age, but Happy birthday to the fella.
Big hit behind the net there as the Zags look to come out. Bog knocked off of the puck, falls right on top of it actually, and able to get it into the zone. So the Zags with some pressure here in the final 14 minutes of this run clock third period. This crosstown rivalry game, hopefully something these two teams can build on moving forward. As Clark runs his man into the boards.
It would be nice to see Gonzaga.
Nickish, number 3 with number 4 on the night.
Absolutely zero the netminder could have done on that. Nickish just stood there with the puck, and the goaltender tried to slide over to his right, went a little bit too far on it. And nice job by Eli for sticking it out. But like I said, Jacob and Eli and Nickish have made leaps and bounds. They have played extremely well this year.
The Zags win the faceoff, 13:30 left in this final period. DeZerkis with it again. Dom thinks about it, tries to go through the defense, crashes the goal mouth as the puck floats into the corner. Eli Nickish over there. Heavy pressure. Now back up to the top of the zone. Knopp tries it. He loses it. DeZerkis floats that ahead. Arver looking to find it again, but covered up by Hinchy. We'll have a face-off coming glove side of the Gonzaga netminder.
But before that goal, I would really like to see Gonzaga and Idaho really become stronger in playing against Eastern. That would be a tremendous rivalry with those three teams since they're so close together. And you include WSU within 90 miles, you could have a nice little rivalry built up out of those four teams.
I mean, you really could. And the way that the Pac-8 has been built up with Eastern Washington and WSU bringing teams into the area, if you can get teams like Gonzaga and Idaho on board, then you really have this kind of Eastern Northwest hockey powerhouse section. And not only is that going to help these teams, but at this level, it helps teams that you want to travel in here. You know, if you're a team like Milwaukee, and you could come in here and play four different teams, basically all in one building almost, you could probably even get convince them an opportunity there right out front. Shot taken by Powers, top shelf over Shachubiawa. And you wonder if the Zags are starting to regret wanting to go runtime here in this final period.
Well, I don't know, but that took a weird hop off that kicker plate, and I think that's what got Luke on, because Luke was in position on it. Just took a strange hop.
But we were talking about they come out here, and you if you can play all of the teams here, but even if you can't, you play them across town at Eagles. Then they head on down to the Palouse. Idaho and WSU share a rink down there. Easy money if you can get competitive hockey in the Inland Northwest.
But I think you hit it right on the head. If you could get those four teams lined up and give it a couple of years to grow, then you're going to get some of these teams that are coming in and say, hey, we got a chance to play four different teams at possibly 1 to 3 different sites. Yeah, that's going to draw some attention from people because it's well worth their time to come up. When I'm looking at Utah Valley University, they came up, played 4 different teams off that one up here. So it would be really nice to see something develop.
Here comes Jelinek on his forehand. One-touch shot sticked away into the corner as Tierney now with it on the right side. He's going to carry it in, leaves it off for Lusk. Lusk looking for another assist, gets it back to Jelly. Out front, Jared Jelinek. Lucky number 13 for the Eagles.
And I'm really happy to see him get what he deserves, that goal on there. That's a kid right there. If you had 5 or 6 Jelineks on your team, you're going to win 70 to 80% of your games. Just how hard he plays every time he's out there. Well-deserved goal. I just really like watching Jelinek, how he plays. Just nonstop hustle. buries his head and just does what he has to do. Outstanding play.
Now coming again is Powers. Tried to put another one past Luke. Not able to get it there. Now back the other way on the stick of Jelinek. He's got Hofacker in the middle. That's where he goes. And Jaden just a step off the mark there. Eastern going to circle it back into the neutral zone. Pushing it up ahead is Lusk. He beats one man, beats a second, looking for somebody out front. He's going to have to go around the net. Hofacker out front gets that shot off. Good leg pads by the Zags netminder. Less than 10 to play in this final period of regular season hockey in Cheney.
I want to see Tank get on the board. Get that goal in there.
He is
Twinkle the
working
twine
for it. And a couple of opportunities for him right there out front. And Luke kicks that one right out to the slot and then poked in again. I believe that's Powers.
One thing you got to give the Zags credit for coming out in the third period, and it's got to be an adjustment they made, that they're starting to have the Eagles chase them a little bit right now, and that's opening up those passing lanes that Eastern did such a nice job of closing down, especially in the neutral zone. Zags are taking some advantage of it, and that's how they got on the board with 5 goals right now. They've come out in the third period, changed their style of play quite a bit.
And whatever they're doing, it's working. We talked about it as they were heading into the locker room. They needed to put more pucks on net. That's what they're doing, and it's working out well. Luke needs some help on the back end, though. He's making the first, second save on a lot of these.
Yes.
And there's just nobody back there helping their netminder. And this goes back to Eastern Washington not being able to put together a full 3 periods. They're getting a little lackadaisical, and I hate to say it.
There's another example of it.
Goal. But I hate to say it, this is starting to feel a lot like that Milwaukee game, Gary.
It is. And that goes back to, you just said it, 3 complete periods. And right now, what Gonzaga's done a great job of doing, besides having Eastern chase them, they've spread themselves out. And that's what's really causing the Eagles some trouble, because before Eastern had them bunched in, they were playing in between the dots. Gonzaga came out, kudos to the coach to make that adjustment. And they're getting, with the passing lanes, they're making Eastern chase them, and they're getting some wide open shots, and they're putting it in the net. And you're right, Luke can only do so much. He's got to have some people come back and clear that puck out, especially after the second save.
Here's another chance. Here comes Sun. Good job by Luke using the blocker, covering up that near corner. Back to the top of the zone. I mean, it almost looks like Eastern's playing on the penalty kill all period. The Bulldogs are in full control here over the last few minutes.
Well, I think also Gonzaga, they said, well, we got nothing to lose, so let's try something different. And right now it's working for them.
Zerkis parallel to the blue line. He's going to hold off. Lusk now brings it across. He's got Arver on the right side. Skates towards him. They switch positions. Now out front to Arver. It's kicked away into the corner. Swan up ahead to McGowan. Liam holds, turns, fires it ahead to Zerkis. Here comes Lusk. Senior captain across the blue line. Now back to Zerkis. Right into the glove of Hinchy. We'll have a face-off coming in the Gonzaga end of the ice. Just over 6 minutes left remaining. This one out front. Zerkis can't handle it. Pushed ahead to Tierney. Mack loses an edge, hits the wall hard alongside Powers. Both players get back up. This one poked ahead. Here comes Arver now. He's going to go around the outside of Zerkis. Arver turns, fires, sees Lusk coming in. Lusk trying to get it back to Arver. And you saw it again there, Gary. Arver brought the puck over to the near side. He had the opportunity to walk it in. He had Zerkis behind him, but he was looking for that play out into the center of the ice. Put it right on the tape of Joel Lusk. Again, if the Eagles can continue to do this tomorrow and then next Friday night, that's going to be a very competitive game against Cal.
Well, they're going to have to against Cal. There's no question about it. They can't do an individualized hockey game against Cal, but they play as a team. Yeah, they can give Cal fits. And we were talking about it in their intermission too. Is if they can, they got a great netminder. If you can get traffic in front of him, you can beat him. If you don't, he's awful hard to get by.
And Eastern's got some big bodies that like to bang out in front of the net. We've been saying Arver's name a lot. He does really good at that. Guys like Dezerkis can sit out front. Leonov, big save by Luke. But you're right, against Cal, they've got to do something in front of the netminder. And you'll see if maybe they start working on that tomorrow night at Eagles Ice Arena. 8:30, rink 1.
Well, they started to do a little bit tonight, and it was very effective. They got 3 goals off of it because they had at least 2 guys in front of the netminder. And when you do that, you take away one of the D-men, they're going to have to go out of it. And if you play as a playmaker, you spread everybody out, you have more opportunities to get that pass over for that shot.
Good defense that time by Canterbury. Lusk with it. Trying to find somewhere to go with the puck. He's going to take it. Near side. Back to Jelinek. And a good glove by the Gonzaga netminder. But again, you see Lusk. He's looking to get rid of that puck to another Eagle. He's not looking for those shots. He's looking to find somebody to set up. And that's what you need, is a guy that can find those open players. And Joel Lusk has been that tonight. Him and Robbie Arver combined for 9 total points.
Well, no question, because what you do when you're doing that,
10.
You get the other team to go after you with the puck, and if you're willing to do it, sit there and look for that pass, you're going to have some nice shots. And Jelinek did a great job of taking that pass, shooting it, just went in the breadbasket of the netminder. But that's why it's so important to play as a team.
And we've talked about it a little bit tonight. Tried not to say it too much. Don't want to jinx the team, but still, just the one penalty for Eastern Washington. Just the one penalty so far. Russell's 2-minute tripping, and that one almost dangerous there for Gonzaga. But even that penalty, it was just an unfortunate penalty. He wasn't malicious. He wasn't trying to trip anybody. Just got a stick in there, couldn't get it out in time, and the Gonzaga player tripped over it. But that's really, to me, been the biggest difference here tonight for Eastern Washington.
It's huge. They're playing really well because they're not in the penalty box. And that's major.
Jelinek to Nickish. Eli looking for goal number 5. He puts it out front to number 5, Jelinek, who can't find it. That's going to go down the ice. Boot going to give chase. They're going to say no icing with under 2 minutes to play. 13-6 in favor of Eastern Washington. The most goals they've scored in this building, I'd say, in a number of years.
I think there's 3 keys, and we zero in on that Pac-8 tournament because that's what really is looked at now. Stay out of the penalty box for one. Play as a team, as one unit, and put some traffic in front of Cal's netminder. If they do that, they're going to be in the game, plain and simple. Those are the 3 major keys what I think they're going to have to pull off to get that victory over Cal.
1:13 left. We're going stop clock now. Interesting clock situation this period. Oh, timeout.
Timeout.
Okay, that's an okay reason to stop the clock, I assume.
Well, I'm going to flash you back a couple of years ago when we were down in Cal when they played down there. Eastern got beat because they were in the penalty box. Call it like it is, but they took, I forget how many penalties, and Cal scored every time on it. So if they can stay out of that penalty box, that's going to keep them in the game. They play as a team unit. That's going to really bump them up where Cal's going to not really be sure what to do with them. And that's so crucial to stay out of the penalty box. And for people that are new for Eastern, Tyler and I have been around for a long time, and it's almost like every year that's what bites Eastern is they always are in that penalty box, and that's how come they lose a lot of their games.
Well, one of my favorite Eastern memories of all time was against Cal down there in San Jose or in Oakland. Eastern Washington coming down the near side wall and checked a player out of the door.
Yeah, I remember that.
At the Oakland Ice Center. Really trying to set the tone there. I don't think that's going to happen in this building, but you got to play with that mindset. You got to be physical next week against Cal. They are very much a finesse team, and you got to find a way to be physical and stay out of the box.
Yeah, you just got to be smart. I mean, Cal doesn't. They're not a real hard-hitting team.
Now here comes Nickish. Number 3 loses it looking for number 5. Dezerkis now back to Nickish. Dive by the netminder with just under 30 seconds left to play. This one's going to go back down the ice. Shot taken, blockered away by Luke Chuliala. I just want to make one more note about our senior. One of the most viral moments in Eastern hockey history as they try to come in, and that'll do it for the rest of this game. But one of the most viral moments is a pinned video on the Eastern Washington Instagram page. It's Joel Lusk chasing a player all 200 feet down the ice and blowing them up right at the Eastern Washington shoot door. He's going to be a loss for this team. Over 40 points or over 40 assists this season. They're going to have to continue to carry that tomorrow night at Eagles Ice Arena against the Bulldogs, and then next week against Cal here at the Pac-8 Championship Tournament.
Well, I'm hoping that Eastern sees how they can play without taking the penalties, how they play as a complete unit, how well they can put points in the net. And I'm hoping that they got off that, pick a little bit up from tonight, bring it into tomorrow, and then really get themselves set up for a week from tonight when they open up with Cal at 7. They can't give Cal's fits. They just got to make sure they play smart with them.
34 points on 13 goals for Eastern Washington. I'm sorry, 32 points on 13 goals for Eastern Washington here in Cheney tonight. What a night for the Eagles on senior night. One more time, congratulations, Jaden Hofacker, Mac Tierney, and Joel Lusk on quite a career here at Eastern Washington. Sad to see those seniors move on, but still one more game tomorrow night in Spokane and their final weekend here in Cheney next week again in the Pac-8 Championship Tournament. Gary and I will be on the call for that one. Our final game of the season, or final weekend rather of the season next week. We will see you there. Final score from Cheney, Eastern Washington 13, Gonzaga Bulldogs 6. Eastern takes the first game of this crosstown rivalry out, shooting the Zags 43-22. For everybody here at Eastern Washington University Hockey, for my color guy Gary Allen, my name's Tyler saying good night, go Eags, and we'll see you at the Pac-8 Championship Tournament.